A very good evening and thanks for clicking on to the Monday edition of Vogan's European Outlook for the 15th of April. We've reached the middle point of April and it'll be interesting to see what happens as we go through the second half of the month. Area of low pressure exiting to the east of the UK. Now we've got that north to northwesterly airflow bringing in a much fresher air mass compared to what we've seen at the end of last work week where we pushed the upper teens across the north, low 20s across the south. You can see here in the visible satellite imagery the streaks of cloud cover coming in from the north. Plenty of shower activity embedded within that northwesterly airflow. Area of low pressure is to the east over the North Sea, and we have a much cooler, fresher air mass compared to what we had back, like I say, at the end of the week. Be sure to check out the live stream from yesterday. You can play that back. Just simply click on the live section on the channel and you can watch that back at your leisure if you're so way inclined. And a very big thank you to everybody that was able to tune in to yesterday's live stream looking at the hurricane season. More thoughts on the summer of 2024. Going to be, building the ideas as we go through the next 5 to 6 weeks in the build up to the summer forecast, and it will also have a hurricane forecast possibly by the end of this work week, but we'll see what happens with that. You can see here this is the current radar, should I say. You can see plenty of widespread shower activity, some clusters of longer spells of heavy rainfall, as you can see here, western portions of the Highlands down into the southwest, across Northern Ireland, getting peppered, hammered by a stinging northwesterly airflow and very heavy showers, possible thunder and hail embedded within that. Maybe even some sleety composites within that rain as well, because we do have a reasonably fresh air mass coming in from Greenland here, and you can see plenty of showers. As you head south, a little bit more spread out, as you can see. But nonetheless, we've got plenty of showers across the board at the moment here. Excuse me. So you can see here, this is the current temperatures across Europe. We have got some very warm air masses across southwestern and southeastern Europe at the moment. Relatively mild in between that, a little bit fresher across the low countries here, and that is indicative of a cold front that's moved through, associated with that low over the eastern side of the North Sea at the moment. We've got some fresher air now starting to move across the UK as a whole, but further north you've got quite significant amounts of chill in the air. Nothing exceptional, but nonetheless a much fresher compared to recent times. Very warm temperatures across the Balkans, by the way. This is mid-summer level warmth. Western Turkey, Greece, up into Bulgaria, Romania, Moldova, parts of southern Ukraine, we're seeing it into Serbia, Bosnia Herzegovina, and the adjacent countries in this region of Europe here. Looking specifically at the UK current temperatures, and you can see that we've got the fresher air across the north and relatively mild, but nowhere near as mild across the south of the UK, holding on to 12 and 13 Celsius down into anywhere from Portsmouth across to Folkestone. We've got the temperatures in the double figures. Elsewhere, it is upper single figures at the moment. If you factor in that stiff northwesterly airflow, these are the current wind chills, and feeling rather raw in that wind for sure. Looking at the overview chart of the GFS model here, and you can see that we've got that area of low pressure over the eastern North Sea. You've got that associated frontal system, probably some very lively rain, showers, hail, thunderstorm activity probably embedded within that frontal system. That will be pushing east-southeast over the next 24 hours, as you can see here. What that's going to do is it's going to introduce fresher air across the central portions of Europe, and it is going to be a game changer because we've had all this warmth across most of Europe in the last 5 days or so, and even beyond that. What this is going to do is it's going to push its way east-southeast, and we are going to see a very significant change in Central Europe in particular. Now, the focus over the next week to 10 days is going to be higher pressure to the west of the UK, northwesterly airflow. There's that area of low pressure. now introducing something much fresher. Now, a better way of looking at this is actually looking at the 850 temperature chart of the GFS, and you can see the introduction to much fresher conditions. So we're starting to lose some of the heat across Central Europe. It is now focused on the Balkans, parts of southern Italy, also across central and southern Iberia. But then, as you play through this 850 chart here, you can see the removal of that milder, and it is replaced by something considerably colder. And we may even see temperatures that were into the mid to high 20s replaced by snow in the air, at least, even accumulating snow, even at relatively low levels, and temperatures really subdued for the time of the year here. So this is going to be a real shock to the system for many central areas of Europe in particular. And you notice here for the UK, we continue to have that high anchored just to the west southwest of Ireland here. That keeps that northwesterly airflow going and keeps us on the chillier side of the temperature uh, uh, divide. I was trying to find the right word there. Notice here by the very end of the run, by the way, off the GFS, you've got another plunge of something even colder moving south. It'll be interesting to see if the GFS holds on to that theme. Notice here that it starts to show areas of low pressure moving in from a southwesterly direction. We've got that milder air ahead of those areas of low pressure that will try and introduce something milder. But it'll be interesting to see nonetheless what happens with that push of cold air. Does the model continue to hold that, or do we see it changing as we go forward here? Finally, looking at the snow prospects. This is a little bit of a short video today, unfortunately, because I'm running a little bit behind schedule. But you can see here that the GFS is indicating snow over the tops of the Cairngorms and the Grampians here. But across the Alps, parts of the high elevations of the Balkan region, even parts of Germany, Czech Republic, southern Poland. With this colder air mass, we could see some interesting snow events in central portions of Europe in the coming days to come. Finally, this is the GFS ensemble, upcoming 5-day period. And look at this here. Look at the difference across particularly Central Europe, given what we've seen so far. Little bit of a milder air mass you can see here between the 17th and the 22nd, and then more chillier air comes in to replace that little surge of milder. So we've got the upcoming 5 days colder than average, then it goes a little bit milder, and then the GFS has the final 5 days of April turning colder once again. That's it for today. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate the new subscriber and the existing subscriber. It is much appreciated. I appreciate your support. There will be a link in the description below for yesterday's live stream if you want to check that out as well. Bye for now.